Okay, I think we can get going. All right, here it is. Good?
I'm here to tell you about it.
Oh, okay. Okay, so welcome everyone. Today is Wednesday, November 6th. Welcome to our Peirce Local School Council regular meeting. Before we get started, I'd like to welcome everyone again and get going on our norms. So through our meeting, we pledge to be an active, engaged, contributing participant by sharing perspective and actively listening to others, to be flexible and respectful of others' time and decisions, to be open to other people's truths and perspectives, to be reminded of differences in cultural and social backgrounds, to be transparent about concerns, challenges, and misunderstandings, to be reflective, collaborative, and supportive, always take the work back to student achievement. What can we do to make things better for our students, both academically and social emotionally? To respect student, staff, and LSC member confidentiality unless there's a threat to safety. Meetings should be paused if LSC members or meeting participants experience harm due to their identity, including but not limited to gender, sexual orientation, race, etc. The harm should be named. Understand that not everything has a right now solution and trust that the process is ongoing. With that, we'll do a roll call. Matthew Kwame, parent rep.
Nayan Choi, teacher representative. Richard Yansky, teacher rep.
Vermont Lang, community rep.
Nicole Granicky, parent rep.
Oliver Diddy, member rep.
Eric Oakson, parent rep.
Some parent.
Good. I think Lori, that she may try to join remotely, but I haven't seen anything come through, so I think we should be, go ahead. So there are 8 of us, so I think we have a quorum either way. So I think we're good. First item of the agenda is the approval of the order of the agenda. Any discussion?
I'll move to approve it.
All right. I'll second. All in favor? Opposed? Motion passes. Next item, items needing council approval. Don't have a ton of the first one is an ongoing one to allow members of the LSC to join the meeting remotely. Nobody has requested that, but we usually put that in there just in case it happens. And I'll continue to do it just in case somebody jumps in. So, all in favor? Good, the motion passes. Next item is approval of minutes from the October 9th, 2024 regular meeting. Racky shared those at some point this past week. So, if anybody has questions, discussion. If not, I'll make a motion to approve the minutes from the October 9th, 2024 regular meeting.
I'll second.
You, all in favor? Very good, motion passes. The next item, that's right. I put it in here, we haven't, I'm sure we'll have more discussion now or something, but approval of the members of the equity committee. My apologies, I just sent that email early, a few minutes ago from Nicole with a summary of the meeting. But Nicole, I don't know if you want to, I know there's committee reports later on.
Yeah, I can save it for our community reports, but in the meantime, we do have 7 members that we'd like to vote in to the equity committee. Myself, Lamont, and Sonia, the 3 of us here. And then we have 4 Peirce parents, Pablo Zuloveda, Laura Altman, Miranda Blunt, and Chris Ober. So I would like to motion to add all 7 members to the equity committee.
I'll second.
Any discussion? All in favor? Very good. Thank you. Welcome. Thank you for your time.
We have to do it at our meeting first, and then.
The next item is approval of the revised bylaws. Eric, thank you very much for sharing those earlier with the group. Those are also posted or available in the Google Drive that's shared outside with the general public. Any discussion? Any questions?
As I edited, I'll make the motion.
All right.
Second.
All in favor? Thank you. The motion passes. Next item, student rep, Adrian is not here, so I think we can, I haven't seen that. Well, we don't get emails from them.
Yeah, and he said he was coming at your school meeting. So he was just there.
Okay. I know one thing that a parent pointed out, and I was there, so I saw it was one of the seats on the swing set back there that's broken, like it came, so I told them it, whatever. The next item, this is the big one, is the principal's report. So Lori is under the weather, she wasn't able to make it. She did share copies over there of the report itself. I don't know if folks have any questions or anything like that. We just skip that. The next time we have additional, I'm sure she's gonna talk a little bit more about it. What I did notice is when we took a look at the escalation entries that were showing on the discipline data, it looked like there was a bit of an increase when we took a look at the journals. Now I don't know exactly what that means. I mean, it's year to date, so I guess it's actually fairly in line month over month. So, regional comment is retracted. That's a good number.
I noticed there seemed to be an increase across the board.
Right. But since it's year to date, it's fairly stable, I would say, I guess.
And generally, they're just incidences for documentation. Yeah. So, escalations, if there's additional support needed, like journals are just to document instances.
She did share internal accounts, and there's a motion that, or there's a request for motion to approve the September internal accounts. I don't know that there's an emergency here. I think if it's okay with the council, I'd like to wait until next meeting for her to introduce that. I don't think there's any emergency for us to go into that.
Are you sure? Should we do it now?
I mean, the funds have been dispersed already, that is 2 months ago, so,
Okay.
but we can,
I think it's the approval of the actions.
yeah.
Conversation to take it.
I'm not sure.
And I would hope that if it was necessary, right now, we would have done it necessary.
Boy, should we have also, yeah, you're right, yeah. We have-
Please make sure you include this in your actions.
What kind of some field trips are happening this week?
Mhm.
Yeah, there was a speed bump with today's field trip.
Okay.
There was a field trip today?
The trust arena, DePaul basketball. I picked up my son and he said, Mrs. A forgot to pay the buses, so we were half an hour late and missed the first half of the game.
Oh, I don't know about forgetting to pay. I think there's just.
That's what a 7-year-old said.
Before, right? Like, I think even this past week or whatever, they come in late. This is becoming a problem. A real occurrence of some sort.
Yeah.
Okay. All right, yeah, if it's okay, we can just kind of pump that up to the next meeting. Okay. All right, next item here is public participation. So we have a sign-up sheet up front. Usually what I do is I look up on the inbox before our meeting and during our meeting. We didn't have anything, the only communications were for the committee reports or committee reports, so I don't see anything there. Right?
No comments?
Esteemed audience, any comment today? Good. Good, so moving on to the next item, community group reports. First one is Friends of Peirce. So what I did ask folks if they could kind of forward some notes. I forwarded the ones that I received. Didn't get anything from FOP. So I'll follow up again, but I didn't think that there was anything pressing, at least last time I spoke with Aaron, so I think we're fine. Next item is PSO.
Oh, did she not send anything?
I don't.
Oh, okay. Sure.
Maybe we
I'll speak on our behalf.
something brief, something, nothing.
Yeah, we just had Fall Fest, which it seemed like a resounding success. Lots of people participated, because we had a fundraising request I don't have like the numbers right in front of me, but it was, we brought in about, just over $2,500. I don't have the exact numbers right in front of me because I thought she saw them. But obviously there were expenses related to that, so it wasn't like that's And coming up, we are supporting middle school dance, which is a school sponsored event, but we also we support that, and there'll be a black light again, as voted on by the middle school students. So that's the next one coming up on the 15th.
Awesome. Do you need anything from us? Is there anything that's?
No, we're not going to be fundraising for that. It's an early dance, so we opted not to do like the pizza fundraiser.
Okay.
So yeah, it ends at 5:30, I think.
Mm-hmm. Very good. Thank you. Next REP, I believe I forwarded that onto the group. We'll put that also in communication so people can get access to them. This is summary of activities. I think the one thing that they were asking, or that they were mentioning, is there's a No Prep Book Club, which is an opportunity to support each other, talking about race, ethnicity, and identity. So, again, the first one will be November the 12th at 8 p.m. on Zoom, and they'll share some details on how to access the meeting and all that. All right. Next, committee reports, PPLC.
So the PPLC does not have an update because we actually are meeting tomorrow. So no updates.
Thank you. Next one is back, and back also forwarded a short summary of activities, and we are going to post that as well onto the site. Next, Equity Committee.
Okay, so Yeah, if you don't mind, I'll speak to it a little bit, because we're changing things up in the equity committee a bit. So, we had our first meeting, what I'm sharing with y'all right now is what I'm hoping to get out in the next newsletter, to the whole community about what we're up to in the equity committee. A few things I just want to point out about this, is that we voted on the bylaws in our first meeting. And what those bylaws put in place is a structure where we're gonna host 3 equity-related forums per year. So, like back, we kind of took a lot of lessons from how back is structured to say, okay, we're gonna have a minimum amount of meetings per year. 3 of those are gonna be planning meetings, and then 3 of them are gonna be what we call forums. The name is still up for debate, if you rebrand it as something else, but the idea is that we'll kind of dive deeper into a topic. A topic that probably has come up here at an LSC meeting where we just like haven't had enough time to talk about it. So, the first topic that we are hoping to do would be in January on Black student success. The other 2 topics for this year that we're talking about are student fees, which has come up here at the LSC, and then parent groups, and we're hearing from them about their equity plans. So that's the idea, is to have those 3 forums. Since these are public meetings like the LSC, there'll be 2 public comment sessions, there'll be a presentation, where the equity committee members can ask questions from the presenters. We are looking at, for the bylaws, to have about up to 20 members of the equity committee, so we just voted in 7, and a lot of those 7 have volunteered to take on officer positions to help keep us organized. But we would like more folks as well, up to 20. So we're asking people who are interested to email the LSC, their letter of interest, and then come to the next equity committee meeting and just get voted in at that meeting. So they'll just be on a rolling basis. As long as we have less than 20, we'll just keep looking to add folks. So if you don't mind, Matthew, just keep it on the agenda to add equity committee members. We'll vote them in at our meetings first and then bring them here to like officially vote them on. We have all the equity committee meeting notes and agendas on the LSC shared drive. I just made a folder called equity committee under the school year. We have a schedule here, or let's say the date section of the handout that has the upcoming tentative meeting dates. The idea is that our planning meetings would take place in the morning at the field house, and then the forums would take place in the afternoon, let's say afternoon 5:30 here. So those early ones are, going to be in the field house hopefully, and then the 5:30 ones will be here. And then in terms of our next meeting, so we're going to have these forums, and then we're also, of course, there to advise the LSC on processes and decisions related to CIWP, budget, principal evaluation, anything that the LSC does. So FOP did approach us already and said we'd like to talk to equity committee about our fundraising plans for spring 2025 before bringing them to the LSC to vote and approve on. So they're going to come to the November 13th equity committee meeting, talk about their fundraising activities, and then the equity committee will decide if they want to make a recommendation to the LSC or not about those fundraising plans. So that's all going to happen on the 13th. And then our next LSC meeting is January. FOP would come to the January meeting to get those fundraising plans approved by the LSC. So I think that's it. So this, you should have this in your emails also, and then we'll send this out in the newsletter to kind of announce the changes. So thank you. Happy to take any questions. And Lamont's and I are co-chairing, so we don't have anything Lamont.
This is my first foray into it, so I'm learning a lot.
That's it.
Thank you. And thank you all for volunteering to participate. 7 is pretty exciting. So that's awesome. Next item is principal evaluation. We don't really have an update there. Lori did share a link to the new format of the survey. So at some point, I need to send that over and then we can decide on or agree on the format to send out at the timing. Because this has to be done by mid-May, I think May 15th or something. So would be a good idea to start to publish this out like in February sometime, give people like a month or so to have time to respond to the survey, whether it's online or like in paper copies that you can put in backpack and stuff. And then you all can do your thing also with the teachers, and then would have. It will probably require a special session to walk through the results together to agree on the score and all that stuff. So that's something that we need to, that will, we'll finalize or get into next, sooner rather than later. I think hopefully, we don't have a meeting in December, so at the January meeting, I'll make sure that before that, I send, like a timeline and we'll talk about it. And then all right. Moving on to old business, there was an update on sports that Lori asked me to put up there. There was a question from I think it was Ashley, about some of the sports, and I think she wanted to give an update. So we'll punt that to the next meeting if she's not here. I didn't hear anything about that, so she'll, again, we'll make that
from our previous public comment that we had.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
So that will be next meeting. On new business, I didn't have anything listed here, but I think we talked about adding this ongoing item here, any items that need to be added to the agenda for next meeting. So I think so far a couple of things. Number one, extending approval, no therefore approval of members of the equity committee as more come along. Approval of the internal accounts. I'm sure by then we'll have a couple more months additional. And then update on the sports. I think those are the only items that I see here. Anything else from folks?
Well, do we punt that full principal's report for that new business as well?
For this time,
Yeah.
I think in the past, no, I don't know that it's ever happened that we haven't had. Well, she had somebody else, like whether it was the assistant principal or fill in so she did. So I'll ask what she wants to do. Maybe she'll do like a combined version or something like that. Great point. Thank you for reminding me. Okay. Twilight, this is going fast. I'm not used to this. Second, opportunity here on public participation. I mean, again, go back. All right. We're already at item number 13, announcements and comments. Any announcements? All right.
Question, what came out of the whole, the acts, the Clean Air Act? Was that ever answered?
No, I haven't heard back from.
I did ask, Jose, the rep, the LSC
Yeah.
rep, and I got a non-committal answer. The question was, are we allowed to endorse something? And it was one of those statements that you could take either way. It wasn't like, yes, you can, no, you can't. It was like, I don't see anything that says whether or not you could or not, or, but I know that Rocky was gonna follow up to see, is the legislation still open? What is the process for endorsing it? What could we actually do? So we can take it on the LSC guidance has not said no.
It's inconclusive.
No one has put their foot down.
Got it.
But I don't think we've heard anything from Rocky about what's the status of that legislation. Maybe it happened 2 months ago. Maybe it's in committee. I don't know.
All right, I'll ask her. Incidentally, she said that she might be able to come here by 7. Probably she can say no, don't come.
I thought that meant she meant dial in at 7.
Yeah. Oh,
Yeah, when she said
That's
she's
true.
finishing working, I don't know. if
that is
she's
correct.
gonna
You're right. You're right.
From
She's
school.
taking class, right? From there. You're
Might
right.
sign in at 7.
You're right. Right? Any other announcements?
I guess I just want to acknowledge we have an elected school board representative now, so, when we get sworn in, so maybe we can talk about and think about what we want to do with, Ebony, and we'll invite her here, or, I don't know. So,
How does that work? I mean, I think that one, so now that the election cycle is over, I mean, I'd like to hear from them or somebody, like, what's happening, but they're not getting seated until January, is that what it is?
So,
So maybe new business for next month, we put on there a motion to send an invitation.
yeah, something.
Okay.
Maybe I'll see, maybe we do something else, maybe it's a school event.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Good. All right.
I know all day yesterday, there was YouTube ads for somebody else. Every single video, there was a YouTube ad for a school board.
Was it? Did I hear something about it was wrong school board members because of the boundaries of the wards and stuff? I seem to have heard something.
The targeted ads in the wrong spot.
Well, no, even not in that, like the voting,
Oh,
like
the ballots.
Yeah,
the wrong people,
something like
the wrong
that, I don't know.
districts.
But it's all electronic, so I wasn't sure like how that mattered. But I guess depending on which ward you were in, it was only your district's choices that would show.
Yeah.
It's, I didn't hear anything else. All right. Well, I'd like to remind everyone that the Lunar Year Parade is next February.
You're gonna be driving the.
I'll make sure I'm there for you. What's the date of it?
They haven't come up with a date just yet, but I'll be sure to follow up with the Chamber of Commerce to make sure that I know exactly what the date is. Because as an invitation, all with friends of Peirce, with the equity community, with RFP, just support, and, so. and keep that on people's minds. All right, checking on norms. This was a rather short meeting, so thank you all for your undivided attention. This is probably.
We have to talk to our official time.
Yeah.
It is.
All right. Anything else? With that, I'd like to make a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion.
Second. Discussion. Okay. All in favor? Thank you. We'll be meeting in January, so it's gonna be a while.
It's an easy 7 minutes to type up.
I think we'll do this right away.